Just started, and heat number one. Heat number one has just started. Just been told through our buzzer that's going off behind us.
Yeah.
Heat one has started. In the red rashi, Guilherme Tamiga, 6 times world champ. Yuri Valadar from Brazil, 2008 world champ in the green rashi. Jorge Coloma in the black rashi from Puerto Rico, our trialist.
Yeah, it's looking...
Two Brazilians and a Puerto Rican.
Yeah, looking good out there. Look at that nice groomed ocean. It's a pleasure to see after 2 onshore mornings.
Right. Look at the horizon too. We see a lot of lump out there.
Yeah, there's a bit of lump going on out there. Kind of sometimes in Zicatela, I guess you're actually hoping that lump doesn't come in. But but let's see. I guess we're all ready for anything, and it would be great to get at least one day like we did last year. But yeah, it looks pretty clean. Looks pretty clean and groomed, and minimal rips happening. So I'm hoping to see some good riding.
Now, did you surf yesterday, Jerry, when the lay day?
I did actually. I had a very fun surf in the morning. It was definitely a good call not to run the contest, but it was still very fun, very enjoyable. It was nice because it was a bit peaky, a bit broken up, and very chilled out, no big set. So it was just an enjoyable surf. And I actually had a fun surf in the evening as well. It was still very onshore, so another great call not to run the event. But yeah, some good practice waves. So so I'm feeling extremely ready to compete today.
And I believe you're staying up the hill, Aqualuna it is.
Yeah.
With Jeff and Mark.
Yeah, I'm staying up there. I'm rooming up with Mark, and yeah, a couple of the boys are there, Jeff and Riggers and Stoney and a whole bunch of guys, and it's a really cool crew there. I just love staying up there. I'm good friends with Clive, the owner, and just a nice vibe and feels very homely. So yeah, I'm super happy up there and enjoying my trip.
It's a great spot here, Port Escondido. Just it's sort of one big family, you know. We travel on the tour together, and we're all in the same hotels. And
exactly, yeah.
You know, it's sort of almost your second family, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it definitely is. It's definitely like such a cool vibe, and it's pretty strange sometimes because it's like you're competing against these guys, but at the same time, it's just, I don't know, it's just not really much of a competitive vibe going on outside of the water. It's all very civil and not even civil, just to the point of being like really friendly. It's pretty amazing.
There we see a surfer right at the back with long hair. Looks like King Kong.
Yeah, he's having a trawl.
Yeah, look. Oh, no, it's a boat.
Other guys just overtook him.
Else, yeah.
Gonna beat him to the catch.
It might have been dragging a shark behind him.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, I've seen some pretty good characters getting around the beachfront. There's a guy who cruises around selling hammocks called Shrimpy. So I'll give a quick shout out to Shrimpy. He's quite a legend down here at Zicatela. You'll check him. He's the guy with the long pants and the numerous hammocks around his shoulders. So if you ever see Shrimpy in Port Escondido, make sure you say good day and get a hammock off the guy.
We actually encourage everyone to come to this town. They're trying to rebuild the tourism here after the hurricane. You know, it is struggling, this local community, but it's been built up. It's built up better now, but they really do need the tourism sector back here, because I mean this is their main revenue, getting all the surfers and stuff around the world that come here to surf Zicatela Beach, and we just encourage everyone to make a trip, plan a trip, come down here. You're guaranteed to get waves. I mean, it doesn't get under 3 feet all year, pretty much.
Exactly. Yeah, for average surfer all the way through to your season pro, it's just an amazing place to come. There's a variety of waves you can surf, cheap food, relatively cheap accommodation, everything's close to each other. You can walk around, it's very safe, and yeah, it's just a great place. I love coming here. It still looks like we haven't had a wave ridden in this heat so far. I mean, the guys looks like they're changing position out there, having a little paddle around, just trying to find a good peak. But it is, we're still in the first heat. We got Guilherme Tamiga, Yuri Valadar, Jorge Coloma. So yeah, 2 world champs, 1 trialist. Here we got 2008 world champ Yuri Valadar having a look at his first wave. A nice right-hander, drawing a good clean line, and whoa, pretty nice ARS off the close out there. So that's a great opening wave for Yuri Valadar. Well done. And
Alrighty.
yeah, Yuri draws first blood. That's him. That's him on top for the beginning
I
of the
wonder
heat.
what the competitive vibe's going to be like in the water between these two. I know Tamiga is one of the fiercest competitors in the water. I remember going up against him years ago in heats, and he used to breathe really deep. Here we go. We have a look at Sporting Bet replay.
Yeah, here we go. See, he draws a nice clean line, pretty high, and then he just times it real well and lands in a very controlled fashion. So I mean, Yuri does those in his sleep, and out here is no different. He picks a nice wave, it allowed him to do it relatively easily, and he'll be stoked with that. He's opened his account in a strong way.
That's right. And I mean, we just look at the history books too. Tamiga's been around for 3 generations pretty much. His first world title was in 1994. He then went on to win in 95, 96 and 97. He won 4 years in a row.
Yeah.
Then he came back, or he didn't actually go anywhere, but he came back and won twice again in 2001 and 2002.
Yeah, an interesting fact to note there is that was actually during the GOB Super Tour days, which was all held in very good waves. So,
yeah, that's
I mean,
right.
you often hear people saying, oh, that Tamiga is one-dimensional and this and that. He's actually one of the most multifaceted riders on the planet. And he can win in 10-foot surf or 1-foot surf. It doesn't matter to him. So, I mean, it's some pretty interesting stats you got there, Leo, with that GOB Super Tour wins there.
He's an absolute animal, as I was touching on before, in the water. I just remember going up against heats against him, and he used to breathe really deep. Have you heard him? He still does that, doesn't he, in the water? He breathes deep, and he puts you off almost.
Yeah. He's just like an intimidating guy in general. Like, I mean, he's cool. He's a really nice dude. He's super polite and friendly, but out of the water, he's
legend, yeah.
Jeez, he's freaking scary, man. Especially for a young fella like myself from South Africa. I'm like, wow, man, this guy's pretty hectic.
Give yourself a rap, young fella from South Africa, eh?
Not that young anymore, bro. The years are creeping up on me, bro.
They creep up quick.
Yeah.
As we look at Andrew Lester had his birthday yesterday.
Yeah, did he? He tried to tell me he was 25, but I kind
of
just smelled the lie in the air, bro.
That's definitely just a little white lie there.
Yeah, a little white lie.
He's probably at home in training, stretching up.
Yeah. Is Yuri Valadares open up at the 4.5, and speaking of that, here we got GT having a look, but cutting out of that. So current standings is Yuri Valadares from Brazil in the green singlet is leading with a 4.5. That's the only wave in the heat so far, although, as if you heard me say that, here goes Yuri Valadares in his second wave of the heat. Nice looking right-hander. He's drawing out through the ball, and a pretty big roll there. Yeah, and he lands it very cleanly. So another great ride from Yuri.
So Uri's starting to get busy at the start of this heat. These are 30-minute heats too. For those of you who don't know too much about bodyboarding, or this is the first event you've watched, the riders actually have 30-minute heats, and there's a priority system. As we see this Sporting Bet replay, I'll touch on this afterwards.
Yeah, look at it. He's got like a little bit of backwash in that, and he hits it as the backwash hits. So he actually gets a nice little bit of projection through that lip. Yeah. And he lands in front of the wave, so it was very nicely done there by Yuri, and that netted him a 5.38. So that's his best wave of the heat so far, and he's now sitting on a heat total of 9.88 in first, and Guillermo Tamega in second needs a 9.25, and here he goes on his second wave. Drawing a nice clean line through the barrel. Unfortunately, that just ran away from him. So, so GT's going to get back out there. He needs a 9.25 to be first, and Horek Kolomer is currently sitting in third position, needs just a 0.64 to be second. So this heat's still wide open. Yuri's taking an early lead, but all the other guys have got their work cut out for them.
And as I was saying before, and I wonder what the competitive vibe between Uri and Galami would be in the water, as Uri's sort of the second generation under Galami coming out of Brazil. You know, he's already won a world title in 2008, and personally, I think these conditions suit Yuri the best.
Yeah, I also think so. Yeah, it's a very interesting question, Alex. I'm not actually sure myself, because I've read numerous different views on GT and interviews in the past and stuff, and what he thinks about the next generation, and they vary pretty vastly. So it's pretty interesting one to think about. I think that there would be a certain level of competition between them. Just being that, I mean, as you said, GT is the older generation, the first generation, the king of Brazil, so to say.
He is the king of Brazil.
He is the king of Brazil, and then Yuri is the guy who's coming up. He's already won one world title, and he's looking for his next one. So here we got Jorge Coloma on a pretty nice looking barrel ride. Wow, that's very, very good from Jorge. Backs it up with a roll and cuts out of that. So that's a great opening ride for Jorge Coloma from Puerto Rico.
Definitely, Jorge. Yeah. I mean, Jorge's. I don't think I've seen him go right yet in this contest. He loves these lefts.
Yeah, he does love the lefts. Yeah, Jorge's from Jorge's. Just where is he from? Puerto Rico. But here he goes. Here he's taking off again. Draws a nice little line under the lip there. Just gets in. He looks like he went pretty high in the barrel there. He comes out kind of low, and yeah, he just whacks a quick, good, clean roll out of that one, and cuts out. So that's a great opening way for Jorge. I'm looking forward to seeing what the judges give that. But yeah, Jorge, like, the wave he serves the most, I'd say, is probably a wave called Halos in Puerto Rico, which is a nice little split peak right and left. And when the sand's good, he really loves to get out of Mingos, which is a sick left-hand wedge. So I definitely think that Jorge does prefer the left-handers. They've got such a good abundance of lefts in Puerto Rico, why wouldn't you? So there we got Gandalf stretching out. The braided Gandalf. Check those braids hanging loose.
Yeah, there's one special character there, Dave Hubbard. Yeah. He's such a nice guy, and he's such a character, isn't he?
Yeah, he is a real character. There we got it's actually been a challenge situation there with Jorge Coloma. Got a 5.83, the highest wave scored the heat so far in his last wave, and that pushed him up into second.
Here we go.
And here we've got current heat leader Yuri Veladao taking off on a very nice looking little wave. So, he's just looking for that section. Whoa, very projected RS. Big clean roll. Another one. How does he do that? Just ripped that wave to pieces.
Well, Yuri Valadeo just taking that wave all the way to the beach and leaving no prisoners.
Wow, man, that was some really...
I thought he was done after the first big RS. Bang, another roll. Finished off with another 3 more rolls.
Yeah, he rode that wave super well. I mean, that's just another testament to his ability. You can especially, and not limited to, but especially in the small stuff. I mean, look how he takes this line.
Like, this is what I was saying before. I mean, these beach breaks, Yuri just knows, especially he's got these massive extensions, these rolls and flips. That was a very nice RS there.
He's just really strong. He's a really strong guy. Look how projected, like, look how much height he got off that.
You know what? I think I must say this is probably going to be this will be the highest scoring wave, definitely.
Yeah, there we go. It's just dropped. It's a 6.5, so that is actually the highest scoring wave. I mean, look at Yuri. He's actually a young guy. He's only 26.
That's right.
You know, like he's.
So like he won his world title when he was 22.
Exactly. So I mean, it's very young. He was very young when he won his world title, and I actually missed that in the media. I didn't actually know that he was that young. So I mean, yeah, it's pretty amazing. He's a pretty amazing rider, and he's got some really amazing strengths, and he's definitely playing to them in this heat. So
that's
Yuri's
right.
ripping.
Yuri's currently sitting 15th at the moment on the tour, so he's on sort of on the cusp of either qualifying or not re-qualifying. So Yuri will be chasing a really good position here in Zicatela.
Yeah, definitely. So. Yes, the current heat standings after that last wave by Green is still Yuri Valadao, the 2008 world champ from Brazil, out in front with the 5.38 and 6.5. Jorge Coloma in black from Puerto Rico is in second on the strength of just one ride of 5.83. So Jorge is actually in a very good position to, he nets another good wave. He could very easily move into first. He just needs a 6.06. And Guilherme Tamega in the red singlet from Brazil is in third currently. But he just needs a 4.46 to be second. So this heat's still like really wide open. No one's dropped anything too unattainable so far. So yeah, it's looking interesting.
That's right. And just for all those viewers around the world that this is your first event watching, streaming with the IBO World Tour, and don't know too much about bodyboarding, or parents out there that are getting into this sport or getting their kids into this sport. What these guys get, they get a 10 wave or 12 wave maximum, depending on the location. They're chasing Their 2 best waves in that heat is what they get scored on, out of 10. There's a panel of judges. We have 5 judges. It's averaged up, and that's what the score comes back as. So it is a 2-wave count with a 10-wave maximum, and you get 30-minute heats, 30-minute heats, and these guys are looking for getting tube, getting a barrel, and coming out with a technical move. Obviously, the more projection height you get, it's going to please the judges.
Yep. Yeah, that's right, Alex. It's this event, it seems that barrels are going to be very, very important. They're going to be heavily rewarded. At a wave like this especially, I think the barrels are one of the hardest ways to ride a wave. You've got Jorge Colomer up again and a nice looking left. Big, clean roll through the top.
He's so consistent with those left rolls. We've seen him get through the trials doing that.
Yeah.
We've seen him in round 1.
Unfortunately, he came unstuck on that one, so that's not going to be a scoring ride, but he will still improve his total score, make life a little bit harder for Guilherme. Guilherme will probably need something in the high 5 range now to climb in a second, but just still definitely not an unattainable score for the world champ. Here we got GT up on a pretty foamy looking one, but it might offer something at the end. A big roll.
See if he can stick this. Yeah.
Really clean landing. So
Tamiga.
That was definitely the best roll of the heat so far, I think.
That's right, doing a big roll in the cappuccino there. He's had his just having his morning cappuccino there and all the suds.
Exactly.
Had a bit of a wash.
He just needed a 5.93 to be first. I mean, to be second. So yeah, I dare say we're going to have a situation change on our hands right now.
Here we see the Sporting Bet replay. We just see getting a little bump there, a little skip, just as he sort of come through that foam. And nice heavy roll there, heavy landing. That Tamiga, you can't count him out.
You cannot count it Tamiga out, ever. Ever, ever, ever. He's still one of the fiercest competitors on tour.
And he's super fit too.
He's super fit. He's probably one of the fittest guys out. He's a real man's man, Tamiga. Like, this is what we missed while we were watching Tamiga. Yuri Valadao with a massive looking ARS. Let's see if he sticks this. And yeah, he does stick that. So just another display of Yuri's amazing ability to do ARS or pretty much anything.
That's right. Yeah, he sort of delayed ARS too. He sort of went, punched the roll, made sure he had punched that roll out. Yeah. Just as he's sort of finishing that roll, he whipped it into the spin. So it's a nice delayed ARS, but you get that projection, looks good for the judges.
Exactly, you know, like, yeah, well, actually, there we got the situation change. Guilherme Tamiga with this last wave got a 6.18, and that moved him to second place. He now needs a 7.1 to take on Yuri Valadao, who also strengthened his lead with his last wave, which netted him a 6.78. So, yeah, current heat standings is Yuri in first, Guilherme in second, and Jorge Colomer in third, who needs a 1.74 to be second. I mean, that's nothing. That's nothing.
So basically, he just needs a second scoring wave.
Yeah, exactly. He just needs to drop that 1.48 with something substantial, and he's in with a chance. But still lots of time remaining, over 11 minutes to go, so which is almost like an entire eon in a heat.
Just another shout out to all the sponsors, Inverted, Reflex, Red Bull, Coastal Playground, they're behind this event as well. Sportingbet.com.au if you're in Australia, New Zealand, and sportingbet.com or I think it's .com. In Spain and Brazil, you can also bet, and the odds will be reset after each day of competition. There is, I believe, head-to-head odds coming out between yourself and who are you up against in the head-to-head?
In the head-to-head, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a head-to-head bet.
Here we got GT on a pretty massive-looking one, but he cuts out on that. That was the biggest of the heat, but wait. The head-to-head, I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, there's a couple of head-to-head bets coming out, so who'll make it further in the event. And I know Tamiga and Stewart are in a head-to-head. Lester and Pierre are in a head-to-head.
Okay.
And I think you might be in a head-to-head with Mark.
Okay, here we go. Jorge Colomer with another nice clean roll. He's going to push through that, so that's definitely going to improve his 1.48. And let's see if that's enough to move him into second place again.
There we go, and we'll just see. Jorge, that's probably the first right-hander I've seen him take so far in this event.
But there you go, he's still equally adept on the right-handers. He draws a nice line and very good timing off that one. Gets a nice landing. So yes, it's good ride from Jorge.
That's right.
We're just waiting for that score to drop. But yeah, the head-to-head bets sound pretty interesting. Yeah, there we have that. That score just dropped 4.93 for Jorge Coloma in his last wave, so that's moved him back in a second. And Guilherme Tamega in third now. Just needs a 4.58 to go back to second.
Plenty of time. You can see he's composed out there, Tamega. He's only got one really scoring wave, a 6.18. Pretty high scoring wave. Second high scoring wave of the heat. Third, sorry. Yuri's...
there we got the Butt himself and Galucci. There's Galucci, the trialist, and Mark McCarthy from South Africa. So there we go, shaking hands like the boykies they are, and yeah, getting ready for their heat.
Yeah, there we see Mark, the Meerkat McCarthy. He's super fit, isn't he?
Yeah, he's very, very fit.
He does a lot of diving and fishing.
Yeah.
His spare time.
He does too. And yeah, I think I'm looking pretty forward to seeing him serve in the heat. I think he's going to rip it up.
Is your roommate, I believe?
Yeah, he's my roommate.
Does he snore?
No, he doesn't snore. He doesn't snore, but he's got like this he's just very sensitive to any kind of wind interference.
Oh, he's got a sleepless twitch.
Yeah, fully. So any fan or anything is loses it a bit. So it's kind of annoying. No, Jackie. No, he's all good. He's very cool to share room with. Yeah.
Get some gaffer tape, tie his legs to the bed.
Exactly. Nah, but he's a
I've got to say, Alberto's boards had seen better days.
Yeah, they're definitely looking a bit tired. But I mean,
that's what Mexico will do to your board.
Exactly, and I mean, if you, we're just talking about GT before, one of the biggest animals in tour, and I don't think I've ever seen him ride a board that looks new. His boards always look like 20 years old, and maybe they are, but it just works for him.
Yeah,
He just makes anything work. There we got the best board ever sitting just up there in the right-hand corner.
Oh, the Turbo Jerry model, there it is.
Anyone want to check that one out? There we go. He's sitting in the barrel already.
That is one of the best boards on the market, the Turbo Jerry board. Sensational board, that.
So yeah, speaking of our boards, all the guys look like they're picking up their boards and heading out there to...
Heat 2, getting ready, getting organised.
Yeah. Coming up in the next heat once again, we've got Mark McCarthy, Dave Hubbard, and Alberto Galucci. Pretty international heat there. One from Venezuela, a Hawaiian, and a South African. So that's going to be a pretty good heat to watch. And still out on the water, we still have the same situation. Yuri Valadao in first, Jorge Coloma in second, and Guilherme Tamega in third. Just needing a 4.58 to be second, and Jorge just needing a 7.45 to be first. So.
Okay, and here we go. Guilherme, have a look at this one. Looking for a second wave here.
Yeah. Nice little ride, getting a good little speed line at the bottom there. Roll through the lip.
So that's Guilherme playing safe there.
Yeah.
He knows there's 7 minutes to go. He knows this wasn't going to score high, but he needed a backup score to prevent him from just sitting on that one wave.
Yeah, he needed a 4.58, so...
Which will keep him back out in contention here.
In my opinion, it's going to be a very close call to see whether or not he gets that. He did have a nice clean line off the bottom there, as you can see. Got there a little bit late, but he had a good strong projection to the lip and a pretty keen landing. So it did come up short, 3.83.
Wow, look at this thing standing up right in front of... Oh, wow, that's a 6-footer.
Oh, just about.
There we see Tamega, bailing under that one, copying that one on the head. Now, Guilherme is one of the best competitors in big waves too. So when he bails like that, I mean, he resides in Hawaii.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. I actually have never seen that before. But yeah, that one did come up short. It came up at a 3.83, so actually not enough to move him into second place. He's still needing a 4.58.
Just explain to all the viewers too out there, Jerry, how heavy this wave is, and just talk about the sandbar and the density of it.
It's super, super heavy, this wave. I mean, the sand is all it's all very compact. So
it's like concrete.
Yeah, so a hard hit here on the sand could feel like you've hit concrete. The swell it's a very powerful wave. I mean, apparently off the back of Zicatela, kind of out there where those fishing boats are, or even further, there's one of the deepest ocean trenches in the world.
Oh, really?
So what happens is that the waves just come out of such deep water that when it hits the beach, it's pretty much like raw Pacific Ocean power. Just unloading.
Yeah, a lot of force behind it, a lot of water behind them.
And the other thing that kind of poses a bit of a problem, which I'll tell you about after Jorge Coloma's wave here, which is a nice looking little left. And he's drawing a high line through the barrel there, looking for a move. Nice, clean roll there from Jorge Colomer. So that's,
there we go.
wow, he's really surfing pretty well in this heat. So
I think Jorge needs to maybe start. Well, personally, I think he needs to start going for flips.
yeah,
He's done the safety manoeuvres there,
exactly, yeah.
which is what a lot of the guys tend to do. We see it here on the Sporting Bet replay.
Yeah.
See, there's a lot of bump in this too,
Yeah,
isn't there?
a lot of bump in there, but he's got a nice, pretty high line through it and really clean roll there. Although I do agree with you, Alex. If he wants to get out of that danger zone with GT, he really
he's
does
just
need to
hovering in
start.
that danger zone. He needs to do a bigger move
Yeah.
because he's only getting scored for what he's previously doing.
Yeah. So you got a 5.3, which is going to change that situation. Yeah.
I mean, it could be enough, but as we get into the business end of this contest, he needs to start doing flips, I believe, just to get that extra points.
Definitely. I mean, everyone can do flips just as easy as they can do rolls now. So it's kind of become the standard.
That's
and,
right.
Yeah, you kind of got to rise above the standard here if you want to do well at all. And
But
I mean,
also, that's experience too on Grand Slams.
Yeah.
The nerves are probably getting to Jorge. He
Yeah.
knows he's sitting in that, right on that
yeah.
cusp between second and third.
Yeah, he's in
And
a really scary position right now. It's always the worst place to be in second because you're the easiest one that you're the one that everyone's going after. When the announcer announces, they don't say, "Oh, you need this to get into first." They say you need this to get into second.
That's right.
So you're the focal point of the entire heat essentially. So, I mean, Jorge's sitting in second now. He did improve his second ride. He got a 5.3 in his last one. So he's moved into a better position. He's got a total of 11.13. But Guilherme Tamega still needs a score of under a 5. He just needs a 4.95 to be second. So it really is still very much wide open. Guilherme looks like he's having a look at this one. A really good-looking wave. And I dare say this is going to be the one that's going to change it.
Oh, we
wow.
just see the backwash and still a bit of morning sickness.
Yeah.
You see on
tide's a
the
bit high
face
still.
there. Yeah, there's a lot of bump. There's a lot of backwash. The tide's still ripping out.
Yeah.
See Tamega check his watch there.
Yeah, it's the thing. From watching this here, is actually pretty good for me though, because it seems like you got to be really quick. There's no time. You can't be stalling or trying to look for a barrel or anything. You should have come straight to the bottom and straight up. That seems like what you got to do out there today. It's breaking really fast.
That's right. You know what? We got to. I was gonna just throw to something there, but Jorge looking at this one here. 2.5 minutes remaining. Is he going to go?
No. Yuri Valadares back up and riding. What's he got here is a really nice looking wave. Big invert. Wow.
See.
Super clean landing.
Now that's going to solidify his first position there.
Yeah.
Going for those moves. That's what the judges want to see.
Exactly. So Yuri's in like a cool position now because he knows he's pretty safe. Guys need pretty big scores to catch him. So here he is going really fast, drawing a nice line and just really timing that pretty perfectly. Gets a lot of lot of boost off that.
Too, yeah.
So I think the judge is going to like that one.
Yeah, well, I mean, we don't see too many inverts. We haven't, probably the first one we've seen this morning.
Yeah.
You'll get rewarded for that, Yuri.
Definitely the first time I've seen this morning. So let's see what that score drops as. I mean, 1 minute 40 seconds remaining. Jorge's heart is beating so fast right now.
This is coming right down to the last minute, as pretty much every heat did in round 1 and round 2.
Oh, here we got GT. He's looking to get a 4.95. Oh, that is critical error there.
Now, we don't see that often. With 1 minute to go, Guilherme Tamega needed that one to jump in a second.
Yeah, he didn't need that one.
He did everything right, just on the landing. He's hit a bit of chop, hit a bit of bump.
Yeah,
he's caught a rail, and he knows he's gone under the water. We'll see that on the replay here. Talk us through this one.
Geez, yeah, so he really times it very well. He gets a nice clean projection. He lands very nicely, but you see like there's kind of these little ridges in the face from that foam there.
Yeah.
And it looks like he just caught one as he's turning around.
He just caught one, yeah. The rails
He's really landed really good, really flat. And he's spinning around quickly, but he just caught that. There we go. It looks like Jorge is going over to meet him now with this priority.
Yes. Now, Jorge is working the competitive edge here.
Yeah.
He has priority.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Guilherme,
30 seconds left. Guilherme needs 4.95. Jorge's got priority. This is really coming down to the wire. And if things do go Jorge's way, I must really commend him on a great heat that he surfed. If not, I mean, still commend him on a great heat he surfed, but it's that's the way the cookie crumbles. But just pretty much 10 seconds to go now.
Now they're out of screen at the moment, but now see Galami's trying to get away from him. He needs a 4.95, Galami. What is he going to do here? He needs a 4.95. Now let's see if he can get it.
Oh, this is tense. This is tense. Big clean roll. Another big roll. And what's he got on the end there? Reverse of the section. I think he's going to keep milking this one.
He's going to milk this one to the shore.
Yeah, he's still going. Still going. Oh, wow. So, I mean, that
wow.
really...
He was chasing a 4.